Thank you there for taking the time to talk to us today. I want to start by asking, there's a lot to untangle here. Hamas basically saying this statement from Netanyahu that he's going to go ahead with the invasion of Rafah with or without a ceasefire deal. And at the same time, we've heard from the Israeli defense minister saying they just didn't have any other choice. They have to go into Rafah. What's happening here? Are there actual ceasefire negotiations taking place, or is it just a blame game?
Well, many thanks for hosting me. Well, it doesn't seem to me it's a game here. As you just indicated, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been repeatedly saying that the Israeli ground invasion against Rafah will happen with a deal or without a deal with the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas. And already the Israeli army has instructed the displaced Palestinians in the eastern side of Rafah this morning to evacuate to other areas of Rafah and Gaza. Basically, the Israelis are asking hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in the eastern side of Rafah to evacuate to Al-Mawasi area, which is west of Rafah and west of Khan Yunis. And it has become clear to us that the radical elements within the Israeli coalition government, represented by Gvir and Smotrich, have been calling on the Israeli government to take a decision, and also on the Israeli army to invade Rafah and take control of all of the Gaza Strip at this point.
But we did hear as well, I want to mention this, from the Israeli Foreign Minister, Katz. He says Israel has agreed to significant concessions, but Hamas has repeatedly refused. That's the word from the Israelis. What's your takeaway from that?
Well, it seems to me this is an Israeli propaganda that they are trying to put the blame on Hamas and the Palestinians, but it has been clear to many of us that Netanyahu is solely responsible for the no agreement until this moment. Israeli media has reported that Netanyahu in the past has sabotaged any chance of reaching a deal that will put an end to the fighting in Gaza and will put an end to the Israeli assault and aggression. And also yesterday, the statement by Netanyahu that Israel will invade Rafah with an agreement or without an agreement has sabotaged Egyptian and Qatari efforts to try to mediate a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Now, whatever the Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz is saying, Israeli media and Israeli opposition, listen to what the head of the Israeli opposition has been saying, Yair Lapid. He has been blaming Netanyahu for sabotaging all efforts by Egypt and Qatar to try to mediate a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
So if Israel indeed goes ahead with this ground invasion of Rafah, we've heard from the U.S. side, they're saying that they're not standing behind that. They're not giving Israel any kind of green light. What's going to happen from then on? We're not just talking about civilian casualties. We're also talking about the political fallouts, I guess, between Israel and the U.S.
Well, it doesn't seem to me that the U.S. has taken the necessary steps to prevent this Israeli ground invasion of Rafah. The U.S. is one of the main supporters of Israel. Just 2 weeks ago, the U.S. Congress and the President has signed further military support and financial support for Israel that is counting more than $26 billion in military and financial aid to Israel. The U.S., I think, is trying to escape its responsibility by saying that they have not approved this Israeli invasion of Rafah. But Israel, as I just indicated, in the meantime, has not taken the necessary steps to prevent this Israeli assault and invasion of Rafah, which is going to result in a bloodbath in Rafah. As you very much know, Rafah, which used to house only 250,000 Palestinians before the 7th of October, now Rafah is hosting more than 1.5 million Palestinians as a result of the Israeli war against Gaza, and also as a result of Israeli decisions to evacuate the Palestinians from the north of Gaza to the area of Rafah. It seems to me that once this Israeli ground invasion will start, there will be a bloodbath in Rafah.
All right.
Over the past 7 months, Israel has killed more than 35,000 Palestinians and injured more than 77,000 Palestinians. Most of those who have been killed and injured are Palestinian children and Palestinian women and civilians, and the worst hasn't come yet. I think we are going to see more killing, more destruction once Israeli invasion of Rafah will start.
All right, Professor Mkhaimar Abusada, Professor of Political Science at Al-Azhar University. Thank you so much there for taking the time to talk to us here on the News Hour.